2 minutes, acceleration point 46, 54 meters, nominal propellant use 3 seconds, bias 13.5.
About 10 seconds after the completion of the deorbit burn, the upper section of the Soyuz, known as the orbital module, will be automatically depressurized. This is the first step on the road to the pyrotechnic separation of the modules that will take place shortly before the Soyuz descent module, in which the crew is strapped in, begins to enter the Earth's atmosphere.
Meters, bias 4 seconds, 12.8, pressure battle 124, 16.5 for propellant. 252, 77.8, bias 4. Minutes, 94 meters, should be 4 minutes. 5 seconds difference, delta. 3.5 minutes, 0.47 acceleration, 96 meters burn, 4 seconds, delta, 12.8, and for propellant 16.9, and pressure button 108. Four minutes, 109 meters, 0.47 acceleration, nominal propellant use, difference 4 seconds, 12.9, pressure button 99, 16.8 propellant, and we're getting ready for the activation of thruster. For 30.47 acceleration, 125 meters. Deactivation of thruster. Copy. Thermal sensors off. There's DBO opening. Separation PGT. Perfect. It's the fourth. Parameters are in. This third one is PGT, pressure on IPA falling.
This is Mission Control Houston. The deorbit burn is complete, and the reports from the Russian Mission Control Center are that it was a nominal burn. Kevin Ford, Oleg Novitsky, and Yevgeny Tarelkin are on their way home.
Sensors on.
We're now receiving
350 in the orbit.
Reports from the field that an influx of low clouds now is beginning to move in toward the landing site. That is causing some deteriorating visibility at the landing site. Helicopters that had been deployed earlier from Kustanai en route to the landing site have been directed to return to the staging city of Kustanai.
Checking.
Personnel are on their way to the landing site via ground transportation. That would be in the form of all-terrain vehicles. So we'll be standing by for additional information on the disposition of recovery forces to get to the crew.
200 in orbital below. Stable in the
Again, earlier throughout the day, the weather was clear in the vicinity of the landing site to the northeast of the town of Arkalyk, but some lingering low clouds associated with the passage of a frontal system and a low pressure system and a cold front that prevented landing 24 hours ago. Some of those clouds have been reintroduced toward the landing site. You're looking at some radar imagery, and as a result,
keep the push to
The Russian Search and Recovery Forces, Rosaviatsia, is amending the deployment of its helicopters on the fly here. So we'll stand by for further word on exactly how many helicopters will arrive at the landing site and the disposition of ground transportation that will be waiting for the crew to arrive once it lands just 45 minutes from now. The Soyuz is on its way home. Everything is in excellent shape with the vehicle itself. All systems reported to be in great shape. Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitsky reporting no issues whatsoever, the deorbit burn having been executed in flawless fashion. The next step is about 19 minutes from now. That will be the pyrotechnic separation of the three sections of the Soyuz to enable the descent module, the center section of the Soyuz spacecraft, to make its way towards atmospheric entry, the first traces of the Earth's atmosphere that will occur at an altitude of about 336,000 feet.
Intros will be earlier. And after Kupol, we will do it special tightening belt. Yeah. Okay. 20 mile.
I understand.
Так, перезмета 303-59.
That's 53:59. 12 minutes.
Давление было
35 in the orbital compartment. Bow pressure.
Давление было
20 is pressure in the orbital compartment. Bow. And defense module stable?
Глаза стабильно.
Yes.
70 на левом инфо.
Checking on the left info.
Принято.
Same. Copy.
Подержу еще. Ну, как-то так. Спасибо.
Just like this. Thank you.
This is Mission Control Houston. Kevin Ford, Yevgeny Tarelkin, and Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitsky at the controls of the Soyuz TMA-06M spacecraft as it heads for the next milestone on the road home to landing in the steppe of Kazakhstan, northeast of the town of Arkalyk. The next milestone to occur about 15 minutes from now. That would be the pyrotechnic separation of the three sections of the Soyuz, the orbital module, the top section, the instrumentation and propulsion module, is the rear section, and in the middle, in the descent module, strapped into their respective seats, is Soyuz Commander Novitsky in the center seat, NASA's Kevin Ford in the right seat, and in the left seat, board engineer Yevgeny Turelkin. The weather, which delayed landing by 24 hours with the passage of a cold front and fog and freezing rain just about 24 hours ago, yielded to clear skies over Kazakhstan, but the weather has been a bit dynamic, and as you can see from this radar, low clouds and fog have formed in the vicinity of the landing site, and as a result, a number of the helicopters that had been deployed from Kustanai were directed to return to the staging city. Some of the helicopters pre-staged in the early morning hours and the wee hours U.S. time on Friday that are now pre-staged in Arkalyk have been instructed to remain on the ground for the time being. Selected personnel, as the reports are indicating, have begun to travel to the landing site via ground transportation. And the latest report from one of the helicopters that is headed out of Kustanai to refuel in Arkalyk for a potential flight onto the landing zone reports thick, low fog with an estimate of visibility of about 100 feet at ground level. So the Russian search and recovery forces, who are masters at this type of operation in all types of weather, are choreographing real-time amendments to the landing plan in the safest and most efficient way possible to reach the crew in the most expedited fashion so that they can begin to extract the crew in the shortest time possible once the Soyuz has touched down. So we'll be standing by to bring you reports as we receive them from the landing site and from the crew itself as it talks ultimately to one of the Antonov fixed-wing aircraft that is flying in the vicinity of the landing site itself, pre-staged at the landing site to act as a command and relay center, if you will, to relay both data and voice communications back to the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow.
13 minutes to separation. Confirming. Just a reminder, please keep reporting in detail. Copy. On all parameters appear on board documentation.
The meteorological combination of the passage of this low-pressure system, actually a series of cold fronts that moved through the steppe of Kazakhstan over the past few days, and the extremely cold temperatures. It is now going on an hour after sunrise. The sun having obviously a tough time making its way to burn off the fog and low clouds because of the dew point that is formed in the vicinity of the landing site. So the search and recovery forces are assessing the weather. They're managing with the helicopter pilots flying those Russian Mi-8 recovery helicopters. They're making real-time calls on the disposition of helicopters and all-terrain vehicles that are being dispatched in order to make it to the landing site for as expeditious an extraction of the crew from the Soyuz vehicle as possible after the Soyuz touches down. Landing scheduled just 36 minutes from now.
Copy.
The right input shows 782. It's quite a difference. Yes, it's a fairly big difference.
А на input 2 какое давление?
What's the pressure on input 2? 782.
Принято 782.
Copy 782.